Your family, the ones you trusted most, just erased you from the trip you paid for. They didn't just betray you. They spent your money while you watched them board first-class seats you funded. My name is Rebecca Hayes, a 35-year-old CPA from Chicago, and this is the story of how my family shattered my trust and how I made them regret it. Before we dive in, drop a comment with what time it is and where you're watching from. I want to know how far this story travels. 6 weeks before my world turned upside down, my Chicago apartment was a war zone of budgets and plans. As a CPA, I'm used to wrestling numbers into submission, but planning a family vacation to Las Vegas? That was like taming a hurricane. I'd spent years saving $25,000, every penny set aside, for a trip to bring my family closer. My mom Joyce, dad Mark, brother Owen, and his wife Marissa. We'd drifted apart over the years, and I believed this trip could fix us. I pictured us laughing over slot machines, sharing steaks under Vegas lights, rebuilding bonds that had frayed. So I booked it all. 5 round-trip tickets for $8,000, 2 suites at Caesar's Palace for $10,000, a Grand Canyon helicopter tour for $3,000, even a Cirque du Soleil show for $2,000. Late nights became my norm, my eyes burning as I haggled with hotels, confirmed airport transfers, and prepaid every detail. My savings bled out, but I told myself it was worth it. For family. But the demands never stopped. My mom called daily, her voice bright with talk of family bonding, but always pivoting to Owen, her golden boy. He's working so hard at his car sales job, she'd say, then push for extras, a $1,500 spa package, a $700 VIP airport lounge. Marissa texted, her tone sugary but sharp. A luxury rental car would make the trip perfect. I wired the money, my throat tight, each transfer chipping away at my budget. Owen? He had a history of broken promises. 2 years ago, he borrowed $10,000 for a Mustang, leaning against my kitchen counter with that salesman grin. "I'll pay you back next month," he said. I'm still waiting. He'd taken $500 for a phone repair, $200 for a suit, always with a wink and no follow-through. I swallowed my frustration, clinging to the hope that this trip would heal us, but deep down, a voice whispered, "You're carrying this alone." This wasn't new. When I was 12, they forgot me at a supermarket, too busy rushing Owen to soccer practice. I sat on the curb, my sneakers scuffing the pavement, waiting hours until they remembered me. Mom paid for Owen's college textbooks while I worked part-time to cover mine. Dad stayed silent, always on the sidelines. I'd spent years being their afterthought, but I kept giving. $800 for Mom's electric bills, $2,000 for Owen's rent, hoping it'd earn their loyalty. Spoiler, it didn't. At work, my colleague Sarah raised an eyebrow when I mentioned the trip. "You're paying for asterisk everyone asterisk?" she asked. I brushed it off, but her words stuck like a splinter. 6 hours before my world imploded, I wheeled my carry-on through O'Hare, my boarding pass crisp in my pocket. I was buzzing with excitement, picturing us boarding together, swapping stories over drinks. I arrived early, double-checking our tickets at the counter. The clerk, Emma, smiled warmly as she confirmed my seat to Vegas. I texted Mom, "At gate C17, ready to meet you." No reply. I shrugged it off. Maybe they were stuck at security. I scanned the crowd, my heart light with hope. Then my phone buzzed. A text from Mom, "We all voted that you should stay." My breath caught. My fingers froze. I read it again, certain it was a mistake. I called her, my pulse hammering. "What does this mean?" I asked, my voice cracking. "You're too controlling," she snapped, her tone sharp as glass. "We decided it's better without you." I pressed for answers, but she cut me off. "We're boarding." The line went dead. I stumbled to the gate's window, my legs unsteady. There they were. Mom's scarf fluttering. Owen's leather jacket glinting. Marissa's designer purse swinging. They handed over first-class tickets *I'd* paid for, striding down the jetway without a glance back. A second text from Owen hit like a punch. You make things complicated. This is our plan now. Complicated? I'd spent $25,000 on their vacation. I called Mom again, my hands shaking. How could you do this? I pleaded. We need a break from your micromanaging, she said, her voice dripping with dismissal. Owen answered my next call with a scoff. Stop making a scene. You're not part of this anymore. Marissa ignored me. Dad, as always, stayed silent. I sank onto a bench, my boarding pass crumpled in my fist, the airport's noise fading to a hum. I was alone, surrounded by strangers, erased from the trip I'd poured my heart into. Back in my apartment, the silence was heavier than the airport's chaos. I opened my banking app, still reeling, and saw red. New charges from Vegas. $3,000 at a casino, $1,500 at a steakhouse, $1,000 at a luxury spa, all on my credit card, the one I'd given Mom for emergencies. I called the bank, my voice tight. Clara, the rep, confirmed the charges were linked to their hotel. They'd left me behind and were spending my money like it was theirs. My anger surged, mingling with raw, aching hurt. Then my phone rang. It was Aunt Gloria. Her voice urgent. Leah, there's something you need to know. She dropped a bomb. Mom and Dad had inherited $750,000 from my grandparents' estate years ago. They'd kept it secret, funneling most of it to Owen. His debts, his mortgage, his wedding. They'd always put him first. I gripped the phone. Betrayal cutting deeper. They'd hidden a fortune while I bankrolled their vacation. A knock at my door broke my spiral. It was my friend Kate, her eyes soft with concern. I spilled everything. The airport, the texts, the charges. She listened, her hand on mine, then said, You're stronger than this. Don't let them break you. Her words sparked something. A flicker of resolve. My cousin Sean called next, his voice sharp with anger. They can't keep doing this, he said. Demand what's yours. Talk to a lawyer. Their support turned my hurt into fire. I wasn't just fighting for money. I was fighting for my dignity. The next morning, I opened my laptop, coffee in hand, my mind a storm of resolve. I pulled up every receipt. $8,000 for flights, $10,000 for suites, $3,000 for the helicopter tour. I found Owen's email from 2 years ago, promising to repay the $10,000 for his Mustang. My fingers trembled as I saved screenshots of their Vegas charges, casino bets, lavish dinners, spa treatments. This wasn't just about money. It was about accountability. I called Rachel Bennett, a lawyer recommended by a colleague. Her voice was calm as I laid out the betrayal. I wanted a formal demand for $25,000 for the trip, $10,000 for Owen's debt, plus their extra charges. We spent an hour refining a demand letter, calculating interest on Owen's loan, documenting every payment. I felt a surge of confidence, like I was finally taking control. I drafted an email to Mom, Dad, and Owen, my words sharp and unyielding. I listed every expense, $8,000 for flights, $10,000 for rooms, $3,000 for the casino, $1,500 for the steakhouse, and Owen's $10,000 debt. I attached receipts, bank statements, his old email, cold, hard evidence. My hands shook, but my tone was firm. Pay $35,000 within 30 days, or I'll pursue legal action. No more loans, no more favors. For the first time, I set a boundary, cutting through years of their manipulation. I imagined Mom's face reading it, Owen's smug grin fading, Dad's silence broken. Hitting's end felt like armor snapping into place. I saved a copy. A line drawn in the sand. 3 days later, my inbox was a battlefield. Owen posted a rant on Facebook, calling me greedy, selfish, accusing me of tearing the family apart. He claimed I was jealous of his success, conveniently ignoring the $10,000 he owed me, the trip I'd funded. Comments from distant cousins and family friends piled on, their words stinging. I wanted to scream, to post every receipt, but I held back. Reacting would weaken my case. Then a letter slipped under my door. Mom's handwriting, neat but venomous. "You're breaking our family," she wrote, guilting me with tales of her sacrifices. I read it twice, my jaw tight, feeling the familiar tug of guilt, but I tossed it aside. Her words were a tactic, not an apology. I wasn't falling for it anymore. I called Rachel to draft a second letter. Aunt Gloria had sent a bombshell. A scanned copy of my grandparents' will, proving Mom and Dad hid $750,000, most of it funneled to Owen. I added this to the demand, listing every expense they'd ignored. The letter was sharp, unyielding, with the will attached. I emailed it, my heart racing, but it was the good kind of fear, the kind that comes with standing your ground. That evening, Dad showed up at my door, his face drawn. "We can fix this," he said through the intercom. I stayed behind the locked door. "There's nothing to discuss," I replied, my voice steady. Watching him walk away, I felt a pang of sadness, but no regret. I'd opened my door to them too many times. Kate came over the next morning, her laptop ready. She'd seen Owen's post and urged me to save it before he deleted it. We archived every comment, every share, evidence for Rachel. "This could help in court," Kate said, her voice calm but firm. Her help was a lifeline. Sean stopped by too, reviewing Rachel's draft, catching a small error in the repayment timeline. "This is solid," he said. "You're doing the right thing." Their support turned my resolve into steel. I wasn't just fighting for money. I was fighting for the truth. 2 weeks later, a bank alert lit up my phone. Rachel called to confirm. Mom, Dad, and Owen agreed to pay $35,000 through mediation. The money hit my account. 3 payments covering the trip, the charges, Owen's debt. I stared at the balance, my chest loosening. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about accountability. Rachel said they signed under pressure, knowing my evidence, the receipts, the will, was ironclad. I thanked her, my voice steady, but I didn't celebrate. They'd paid, but the trust they shattered couldn't be bought back. Word spread fast. Owen's Facebook rant backfired when a local news blog picked it up, exposing his unpaid debts and lavish spending. His boss saw it, and by week's end, Owen was jobless. I heard it from a mutual acquaintance, not him. Part of me felt grim satisfaction. His lies caught up with him. Mom and Dad sold their Cadillac and a family plot to cover their share. Without the hidden inheritance they'd squandered on Owen, they were downsizing, struggling. Gloria didn't sugarcoat it. They were barely scraping by. Their choices, not mine, led them there. The weight of it lingered, but I didn't waver. I blocked Mom's number, Dad's email, Owen's messages. No more guilt trips, no more excuses. I turned to Sean, who'd stood by me. We met for coffee, planning a bookstore we'd dreamed of for years. His laughter filled a space my family left empty. With the $35,000, I opened a savings account, meeting a financial advisor to map out investments. Every step was a brick in a new foundation, one I controlled. My apartment, my plans, my life. It was mine now, not theirs. Looking back, I learned to set boundaries, to protect myself from those who'd take until I had nothing left. My family saw me as a resource, not a person. Standing up wasn't easy, but it was worth it. I stopped letting their choices define me. To anyone listening, Thank you for following my story. Have you ever had to draw a line with family? Share below. What does it mean to put yourself first? Hit that like button if this resonated, and subscribe for more stories of standing up and fighting back. I'm Rebecca Hayes, and this is my new beginning,